and she is from the Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning, and so she will come and, she's the manager of waste and resource recovery and also climate change over at DELWPT. So, but let's let Karen take the floor now. Thanks, Karen.
What I'm going to do is a little bit of an overview of what we do here at Sustainability Victoria, particularly a little bit more information about what we do around our waste area, resource recovery area, and touch a little bit around litter. And I know your particular interest is around marine pollution and looking at plastics, so we don't just deal with that, we deal with other things as well. So we'll talk about them, but I will, where I can, expand a little around the areas that you're particularly interested in. If you've got a particular question or unsure, put your hand up and we can add as we go along. Otherwise, we'll have a bit of time for questions at the end. So we've probably got about 20 minutes to sort of go through this. I'm sure you're on a schedule. So, Sustainability Victoria, who are we? We're an unusual organisation. We've got a statutory objective to facilitate and promote environmental sustainability and the use of resources. That's our legal responsibility. We have our own board and we're a little bit independent from the department. So whilst we're a government agency, we're a separate agency from the policy department, and we're not a regulator. We're here to deliver programs to achieve that objective. So it's kind of like we're not the stick, if you like, we're the carrot. We provide the incentive and the support. Here we are. So at our big strategic plan level, what we're doing is we're mobilising Victorians. There's about 6 million people in Victoria, how to live, learn and do business. So we work with households, work with communities, schools and businesses. So we also support other parts of government as well. And the two key areas that we focus on within our organisation is around climate change. So we do work in the space of reducing emissions and helping organisations to reduce their emissions. And a big focus is resource recovery. So that's the one that's probably most relevant to you today. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So in resource recovery, waste and resource recovery, we've got a broad range of programs. There's more than $50 million worth of programs underway at the moment. There's a lot of work going on in this space. Globally, we all know there's been a lot of attention around recycling because of the changes that have been going on, and particularly around some of the policies in China. That's really had some ripple effects globally. That's elevated government's investment in this area because the community want to know about recycling and managing it well. So what do? We do infrastructure planning and funding, and one of the things I'll lead with someone here is we do planning at a statewide level for infrastructure. So what sort of infrastructure do we need to go forward to ensure that we can manage, dispose and landfill where we need to, but ideally recover as much material as we can. So what's the infrastructure like? So we've got some of that, I'll leave that there for you. In order to make that happen, government doesn't run these facilities. In order to make that happen, we incentivise private investment where we can, attracting investment. So that can be through business support, working directly with some of the businesses to support them. And another thing we do is provide grant funding or other financial sort of supports. Sometimes we do things like loans. So it's about how do we get the kit that we've said we need in our plan on the ground, knowing that it will work for those businesses. Another really key area that we work around is market development, and I'll come to that in a little bit. What we know is that if we want to do recycling well, we need to have products at the end out of that recycling system that people can use. And that getting those products right and fit for purpose and the best value we can from that's really what we're trying to do. So we do a lot of work around market development, facilitating research and development of new products, making sure they meet the standards, because if people can use those products confidently, we can get that demand, then what we have is something that our people value and want to take somewhere. So we're not wasting those materials, and it can reduce the amount of litter. And ideally, if they're going around in the cycle, they're not ending up in the ocean or wherever else they might be. We're looking at procurement. So what's government's role in procuring some of those recycled products? There's quite a body of work going on at the moment to look at how can government lead the way and buy some of that recycled content under the recovery centres. So we do a range of programs and strategies to support that. We collect data and information so that we can feed that back to industry and the community and say, okay, this is where we need to focus our efforts. this is the stuff that's not getting recycled properly. What can we do about that? And we also have some litter programs. So we do a couple of things around litter. One of them is about measuring litter. So across in Australia, there's a sort of standardised process for measuring litter. So I'll leave this one with you as well. This is a litter scorecard. So how are we tracking around how much litter is around the place, and how are people behaving, and how often are people littering? And obviously, from a marine pollution point of view, that's a really critical thing. There's and Helen's going to come and talk a little bit more about that. The other thing that we do is support regional approaches to reducing litter. So not a centralised one, but what we support the regional groups, which might be all of the agencies, you know, the national parks, the local government, the rail authorities, whoever it is that's managing land in an area, they can get together and do a plan. How can we tackle litter in our region as a bit of a collective? Because litter goes to everywhere. So that's another way we're tackling that. So that's a couple of programs that we do in relation to litter that you'd be interested in. We do lots of other projects besides those kinds of things. So as I was saying, we kind of work with a whole lot of organisations and households around trying to reduce pollution from climate change. So some of that, upgrading houses, you can see, helping. We did have a program that's actually being run somewhere else now, which is a really big program. We're getting solar systems on roofs of houses, but also just making houses better insulated and supporting draft-proofing, that kind of thing. Helping businesses be more productive, using less energy, producing less waste in their business. We've got some special information around waste education about reducing food waste, which is a big problem globally for all sorts of different reasons. Another program that you might be interested in is our household chemical collection program, which is a program where we go out about 30 times a year to all across the state with like a little portable group of people go out and people bring their chemicals from their house, and we collect all those materials and take them away and get them recovered and recycled. So that's about helping people find a way of disposing of those nasty chemicals. A lot of them are pesticides and things that are kept in people's sheds or on things under their kitchen sink, if you like, that kind of stuff that we don't know out in the environment. So there's a few things that we do, lots of other programs that we do here that particular interest, I think. So, have you heard much about circular economy? Have you had? Yeah. So, I guess when we're looking at what do we do to support that transition to circular economy, we are working in different parts of it. A lot of our focus is around how do we recover and manage and recycle that. So to date, that's been quite a lot of our work, get the recycling system, getting the collection systems right, getting the sorting, the processing, and ultimately the end markets. But that's not to say there's other things. So what you'll see, we're in Victoria here, we're at the moment doing the circular economy policy, and we will expect to be putting more effort into how do we repair and reuse, how do we keep things in the system for longer, less production of waste to begin with. So that's going to be happening more. But in looking at that, we tackle it here. Like I said, we're not a regulator and we're not a policy organisation. So again, grants and funding support, that investment in finance support out there, getting the data out to industry so that they can respond to that, and providing the guidance and advice and the data and information that can enable other people to respond. So we're not necessarily telling them what to do. We say, hey, this has worked for someone else, we can share that information. In our grants and funding, as we're saying, $50 million of resource recovery activity, a lot of that is in our grants and funding, actually getting new infrastructure on the ground.
Yeah. Was that $50 million in 1 year, or was that happening over the last few years?
That's the number of programs that are out at the moment. I can't say whether it's one this year. No.
That would be current year's budget for different programs.
No, that's the amount of programs that are operating at the moment in resource recovery. Is about $50 million USD, but some of them are multi-year. Okay. And then there's other programs
from previous years.
Yeah. So what we've got is our resource recovery infrastructure, some research, development and demonstration, and that's particularly around those markets, those new products. So I'll show you a little video of one of those in a minute, and then other grants and funding as well. So here's one of the grants through this organics thing. So this is about food collection, running it through, running this kit, trialing it, how does that work, to come up with a product that can either be used directly on farms, or it might need some more treatment to be turned into something else. It depends, like there's lots of different systems, but what we're doing is trying to get something that's a waste product at the start that's going to landfill and creating emissions. Instead of doing that, what we're trying to do is find ways of processing that so those nutrients can be captured. And there's one here which I'd like to